Hi, I'm Sasha. Today I'm going to be doing St. Patrick's Day makeup featuring the ColourPop Just My Luck palette. Here are the swatches for the eyeshadow palette. There's a mix of matte and shimmer shades. It focuses on green tones, but there's some yellow, olive, and brown as well. To get started, I'm going to use Chances Are. I'm just going to work this into the crease as a transition shade. This is a really beautiful pastel green. It's almost like a light sherbet shade. It's got a pretty high level of pigmentation despite it being so light. ColourPop shades are really great because they always have lots of pigmentation. You don't have to use a lot to get a really bold look, which I think is really fun, especially for St. Patrick's Day. Now I'm going to use a little of Kiss My Ass, just taking a little on this fluffy blender brush and working it on the outer corner of the eyelid. Basically I just want a wash of color, but I want to leave a blank space near the inner corner of the eye for a highlight. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I really love the ColourPop matte shades because they're always really easy to blend. Just make sure those edges are nice and soft. Now I'm going to take some of this shade here called Mo Bamba on this little eyeshadow brush. Just going to work it kind of in a diagonal direction on the outer corner of the eye and up into the crease. Basically I want to increase definition here and give us a nice dark color in the corner. The same thing on the other side, kind of in a diagonal shape and then up into the crease. Now I'm going to take this shade here called 50/50. I'm going to use it on this nice packing brush. Basically I want to create kind of a cat eye shape going upwards. So I'm going to kind of press that in and make sure I have a nice cat eye shape there. Since my eyes are hooded, I like to sort of stop and look at it with my eyes open so I can see how it's going to look with my eyes open. A little bit of a flick there at the end. These packing brushes are really nice because you can get a lot of color on them, but they can still have kind of a soft finish if you want. I'm going to work this color a little bit into that crease there. I feel like I want a little bit more color in that wing shape. So I'm going to go back into this shade here called 50/50. Work it out into that crease just a little bit. Now I want to do the same thing on the other side. So again, we take our packing brush into 50/50. We want to create a cat eye shape here. So just kind of press it in using the tip of the brush to define that outline and then draw it in kind of a swoopy direction to do that flick. I like where that's going to fall, so I'm going to go ahead and pack on that color in that shape there. I'm also trying to work it into the crease so we have some nice definition there as well. These shades seem to be applying nicely. There doesn't seem to be much fallout. I'm going to try and even this up a little bit. I feel like the wing on the other side got a little bit bigger, so I'm just trying to make this one match. I'm going to sharpen up this corner by using a makeup wipe. These are really nice because they just kind of let you erase a tiny bit if you feel like your shade gets a little bit out of control. Now I'm going to use a fluffy blender brush to blend out those edges and make them softer, especially near the center of the eye. I'm going to make this a little bit sharper. Now I'm going to take my finger into Big Banks and press on some of that eyeshadow right in the center of the eyelid here. I want to create a nice pop of this beautiful green shade. This is a really beautiful, vibrant shade. I feel like it just adds a really nice highlight to the center of the eyelid. So I'm just using my finger to kind of stamp it on and press it into the eyelid. I really like this color here. I feel like it blends really well into the other green shades. Just going to use a brush to soften those edges. Now I want to do a similar look on the lower lash line. So to start, I'm going to take this small smudge brush into Kiss My Ass. Just going to kind of press that color in on the lower lash line. I'm not going to take it all the way across, just about halfway or 2/3. I want to make sure the color is running along the bottom here consistently. I also want to make sure it meets up with this little cat eye shape as well. Same thing on the other side. We'll press it into the lower lash line, run it along to make sure it's nice and even, press it in near the edge of this. Now I'm going to use some of this Pacifica Cherry Matte Setting Spray. I'm just going to spray my brush, dip that into this vibrant shade here called Mary Jane, and press that in on the inner corner for our highlight. This is a really beautiful kind of vibrant green shade. Just going to press this in on both sides. I'm going to use a little bit on the bottom as well. For the bottom of the lash line, I don't want to take it all the way across, just focusing on the inner corner. I really like the way this looks, so I'm going to make sure it pops nicely. Now I'm going to use some more of that setting spray and dip this wet brush into Big Banks. I'm just going to place a little bit more under my lash line here near the center, just to kind of tie everything together. If you're enjoying this video, please like or consider subscribing. I post new beauty videos every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Central. I'd love to see you there. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be the first to watch my new videos. Now I'm going to use some of this Milani Highly Rated Mascara. This one has a nice fluffy volumizing brush. I just kind of wiggle it on from root to tip. This one also seems to help curl my lashes a little bit, which is nice. I also like this brush a lot because it's more tapered, and so I feel like I have a little more control with it. Now for the other side. Before I do my lower lashes, I'm just going to wipe this off on a tissue and then use this vertically, just sort of brush it along those lower lashes. Same thing on the other side. For blush today, I'm going to use the Bare Minerals Gen Nude Powder Blush in That Peach though. Just going to brush this on the apples of the cheeks. I really like peach tones with green. I just feel like they complement them so well. Now I'm going to use a little of this Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in Light. Just take this in the hollows of the cheeks, along the hairline, down the sides of the nose, and down the jaw and neck. For highlighter today, I'm going to use the Too Faced Clover Puppy Love Highlighter. I'm just going to brush this on the tops of my cheekbones. I especially like this one because it's a champagne gold, and I feel like the gold tones work really well with the green we have in the eyeshadow. I also like to put a little down the nose, Cupid's bow, top of the chin, and just under the brow bone. Just going to take the tiniest bit on this little smudgy brush and put it in the very center of the inner corner as well. Same thing on the other side. For lips today, I'm going to use the ColourPop Frozen 2 Ultra Glossy Lip in Free Spirit. This is a really beautiful kind of soft peach nude shade. I feel like I need just a touch more blush, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more. So you could totally stop here. I just want to go one step further and add a shamrock for St. Patrick's Day. So today I have a Shamrock Stencil from a brand called Polished Vino. This is basically just a sticker that's made out of vinyl. You can use it to do swatches or to do things like I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to stick it on my cheek, kind of figure out how I want to align it first. It doesn't have to be perfect. The main thing is just kind of watching those edges to see if they're sticking up. I'm going to use this shade here called 50/50 on a packing brush. So one of the tips for using swatches, especially with fine details like this, is that you want to start on the outside and work your way inward to kind of capture those details. So I'm just going to work from this little stem here and then from the outside as well. This is a really beautiful shimmery green shade. So I'm trying not to move it too much. Any of those little fine details, if you move them, you can lose them. Just kind of painting this on. These ColourPop shades are really nice because they're very creamy and smooth and easy to blend. Now I'm just going to pack it in a little bit near the center or anywhere that looks like it might be patchy. This is looking pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and peel it off. Hopefully it won't take too much makeup below it with it. Alright, so now we've got our little shamrock, and it's a St. Patrick's Day look. If you're careful, you can even reuse these. I like to stick them right back on the little base and wipe them off with a makeup wipe. Usually I can use them 2 or 3 times. Alright, so that's it for my St. Patrick's Day look. Today I used this ColourPop Just My Luck palette. It's only $12 for 9 shades. If you're having trouble finding that one, there are a couple other options. There's one in the I Heart Revolution Heartbreakers collection called the Lucky palette, which has very similar colors. This one is only $7 and is available in a lot of Ulta stores. Another option to consider is the Milani Gilded Jade palette. This one costs $20, so it's a little bit more than the ColourPop. However, it does come with 2 more shades and has a few more neutral shades, so it might be a little bit more wearable than Just My Luck on a regular basis. If you do end up wearing a look like this, I'd love to hear it. Just tag me at Sasha Wichita on Instagram. I hope you found this video helpful. Please leave a comment and let me know whether or not you have any favorite St. Patrick's Day traditions. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.